Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be showing you how to split text into multiple columns. I've got Tableau open and I'm going to use a sample file in this video. The sample file I'm going to use is a packaged workbook file which has a .twbx extension. So there's a link here to open a workbook. So I'm going to browse to the file. This is the file here. It's called splits. I'm going to select it and click open. If you need to work with data that combines multiple values into a single column, you can try and split the text into multiple columns to make it easier to work with. So I've opened up the sample file. On the bottom here, I'm just going to click on the data source since we have no visualization for this data. So I'm going to go to the underlining data source by clicking on the data source tab here, and that exposes the data. In this sample data, we have a column called customer name. And the customer name column combines the information about the name of the customer. So it combines the first name and the last name. I can split the customer name column into two so that the first name has its own column and the last name has its own column. So above the column name, you can see this drop down arrow. So if you click on it, and if you look on the bottom here in the menu option, there's an option for split. So if I click on that, it should split the column. You can see here it split it into two columns. One contains the first name and the other contains the last name. You can also rename the column header. For example, I can call this customer first name and call this customer last name. So Tableau has been smart enough to be able to analyze the data and split the column between the first name and the last name. There's also another way to split the column. So to begin, I'm going to press Ctrl+Z on my keyboard to undo what I've just done here. So I've pressed Ctrl+Z on my keyboard and you can see the split has been cancelled. So we now have the data all in the same column. Another way to split the data in a column is to create a custom split. So above the column I'm interested in, which is the customer name, I'll click on the drop down arrow and select the option for custom split. And that gives you a dialog for the custom split. In the custom split dialog box, you can identify the separator value. In other words, it could be a comma, a semicolon, a colon, or whatever you wish to be the separator value. You can also split off a certain number of columns. For example, you could split off the first one column, which would be the first name in almost all cases. But you can also do the first, the last, and you can also change the number of columns. And when you're done, you can just click on OK, and that will split the column as you have specified. I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to show you the second option. So I'm going to click cancel out of that. In this video, I showed you how to split text into multiple columns. Thanks for watching.